I'm Leonard Briggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. I've been away for a while. I'm sorry. I've had some health issues and some other stuff going on. I really wanted to do more podcasting and thank you all for sticking with me. I appreciate you. But these are getting few and far in between, and I'm sorry. I hope to change that. I'll explain as to what's been going on with me and what's happening with me and all sorts of stuff. Just stay tuned here. I am Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast. From my head to your ears, we'll be right back after this short break.
From my head to your ears, let the music appear. No distance between us, just jazz in the air. I'll be right back, don't you fear. Every note I play brings me near.
I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. And like I said, I've not podcasted in a while. I've been doing one a month, if that. This is my 5th season. I've got the Halloween Film Festival coming up next month. I'm excited. I was going to do another Halloween special, but once again, I've kind of waited a little late to gather up material for it. So I may or may not do it. I might put it out there and see what I can come up with. I'll think about that. I have a very bad habit of jumping ahead of myself. I don't like that about myself because I get really frustrated. I'll start a project, then I'll start another project, then I'll start another project. Before long, I got 5 projects going and I get overwhelmed and I end up not doing any of them. And that's me. I think my adult ADHD kicks in. I think there's medication for that. I might need it. Speaking of medication, I was going to explain to you what's going on with me. Somewhere in the last few years, towards the end of taking care of Mom at the end of her life, I started getting really tired, and it was kind of disturbing because I'd fall asleep when I was feeding her. I would just fall asleep. Now, she giggled about it, and I would wake up and I'd drop her food bowl on the floor, and I just could not stay awake. And it's started just getting really irritating because when I work, I'll have such a wave of exhaustion hit me in the middle of the morning, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I'll go try to caffeinate or whatever and try to keep going, but I struggle. And yeah, I put a lot of weight on, and I've been heavy before. I've lost weight before, but I've never had this issue. Plus, I'm having trouble with water retention, and that is from being obese, which I am pretty way a lot. I don't know that, I guess clinically I'm obese, but I'm not like, not going to appear on my own reality show, my 8,000 pound cousin, but I am I'm rather jolly old man. And my belly laughs like a bowl of jelly, like Santa Claus when I laugh. But, I have let my weight go, and that started again at the end of my mom's life. When I was caregiving, I had a snack, sack, and I would eat my snacks, and I wouldn't really exercise. I was kind of stuck just sitting there watching her. So I put a lot of weight on. And all this kind of combined, I think, gave me health problems. Apparently I'm pre-diabetic, and, I have water retention, and, but the big thing I was worried about was I was getting short of breath. Now I know being heavy causes that, but this isn't like that. I've been heavy before. This is walking at literally 2 feet and I can't breathe. And I had my heart examined and it seemed to be okay. And we just couldn't figure out. But the thing that started happening to me, was they noticed my iron was dropping. And in the last few months, it dropped pretty bad to the point where I can't stay awake. And I literally would be sitting on the couch on my day off. I would get up, feed the cats, and then sit down and turn the TV on. And the next thing I know, it'd be 7 o'clock at night. I would fall back asleep. And then I would go home, go to bed. So, like on my days off, I would rest, and then it wasn't such a task during the week. I'd get through maybe a couple days, and then somewhere along Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, on my last days of the week, I started feeling exhausted. And I'm being late for work. I can't hardly get myself going in the morning, and I can't get out of bed. I can't anything. But anyway, it was all because of low iron. And the problem is we don't know what's causing the low iron. Usually it's caused by internal bleeding somewhere. Now I have a lot of other health problems that I've dealt with for a long time. I have a hernia that needs surgery, which I'm scared to death of that hernia surgery. But, it's going to have to be done. That could be where the bleeding is. I had eye surgery where I'm blind in my right eye, and I'm having trouble with that somewhat lately. It's not, I don't know. I can't explain it. It doesn't feel right. So I probably should go have that looked at. It could possibly be bleeding. I don't know. I have no vision there, so it's hard to tell. But there's all sorts of things that it could be. Plus, my right knee is in really bad shape. I twisted it a few years back. I may need knee surgery. So, yeah, welcome to your late 50s, right? But, I went from not having a lot of health problems to just being a health problem. But today, I went, excuse me, they sent me to a hematologist, and I went today and had an iron infusion, which was about a 3-hour deal. And so far, I don't feel any different. They gave me some Benadryl, a shot of Benadryl before the treatment, and I went to sleep. But I also got a steroid, so she said I may not sleep tonight. I don't know. I'm sleepy. I'll be honest with you. I'm still sleepy, but I don't know if I will or will not sleep tonight. We're going to find out. Sometimes you can be sleepy when you got something that keeps you awake, but your mind won't shut off. And I'm worried about that because I got a doozy of a day tomorrow, and I really need to get some sleep. But anyway, that's what's going on there. I just wanted to be upfront with you. A lot of this is very common, and it could be anything. It could be ranging from something not serious to something really serious. So I probably am going to have to go through a whole bunch of tests to find out exactly where I'm losing my iron. I go back in a month to do a follow-up, but I'm hoping this gives me a shot of energy, because I'm telling you what, my house has been neglected. I do not neglect my cats. They get fed. I didn't shave for the longest time. I didn't even feel like shaving. I just don't feel good, and I don't like it. I haven't listened to music in a long time, other than just playing it, getting ready for work or whatever. I used to call it, music therapy. I'd put my headphones on and listen to music. I've got the holiday, Halloween Film Festival coming up next month. And as it stood, I was thinking about not doing it because I just don't have the energy. And, so we'll see. It's going to happen because I promised everybody, and I love doing it. But, it's actually, believe it or not, it's kind of I do the videos introducing my movies every night, and I post. And sometimes I just don't feel like doing that, but that's part of the film festival. So that's what I'm going to do. People enjoy that, I think. So I will do it. The show will go on, I promise, unless I die, and I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't plan on it anyway. That's not in the plans. For sure. Other than that, I also have a remodel plan, going on, or addition to my house. I'm closing in my carport since I don't drive, since I'm blind. And it's going to be a catio. It's going to be a place for my cats to go out and enjoy the outdoors or whatever. I also will have space for me too out there. I've been buying some lawn furniture, and I'm going to have a nice little sit down area out there. and for company when we need it. I hope they like my cats. But we'll see. Well, I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to talk about some other things. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast From My Head to Your Ears.
From my head to your ears, let the music appear. No distance between us, just jazz in the air. I'll be right back, don't you fear. Every note I play brings me near.
I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast From My Head to Your Ears. I'm talking about all sorts of stuff today. I gave you a health update on me a while ago. I just wanted to get that out there. And again, I apologize for not podcasting much. I still love doing it. It's just, I just haven't felt like it. I'm hoping when I get my catio done, I can go out there and record podcasts out there before the weather breaks. It's not going to be weatherproof, unfortunately. But it'll be, I might be able to put a little heater out there in the wintertime for the kitty cats. And I know I'm going to put some curtains up and stuff. But I'm so happy that they're going to get a little place of their own, because I feel bad keeping them in. This will give them the best of both worlds. Plus, my little girl who doesn't really like to come in, she's been watching, just curious what's going on. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. Well, let me tell you about my TV ordeal. I got a 75-inch TV, Sanyo, for my 35th year at my job, and it arrived broken. And I was so upset because I worked all day to get that in the house by myself. And whether it was broken through a fault of mine or arrived that way, I'll never know. But it was broken, so I reported it, and I had to jump through hoops. They had to jump through hoops to get me a new one. And I learned my lesson about 75-inch TVs. You cannot put them in yourself. So I've got a friend that's going to help me to bring it inside. But with all this construction going on, I don't have time for it right now. So it's not ready. Plus, I bought a 55-inch TV with my own money from Walmart, and it was lovely. It's the same brand of television, and the sound, excuse me, the sound is just amazing, but I had it a month and it just quit working. So I don't have the packaging or anything, so I had to chat with Walmart, and they are going to let me mail it back for a refund. And the thought was, if they replace the big TV, I can use this in my bedroom because I need something for my bedroom. But if they didn't replace the TV, I could use it in the living room because it's really big enough for my living room. The 75-inch is a little extravagant. I'm going to love it because I love movies. And I do have a surround sound kit that I want to install. And I'm just waiting on the catio to get done so I can send my cats outside so I can work on my living room, because I cannot get anything done with my cats in here. They are, oh Lord, they rule my house. So, as soon as they get the walls up and stuff, I've got plans. Anyway, I'm excited about that. I have a projector that I can actually show movies and stuff on, on a screen. One of those digital projectors. So years ago, I thought it would be so cool to have my film festival out in the backyard and invite friends over. But, it might disturb my neighbors. My neighbor has a baby, and I don't think that's a good idea. I'm very considerate about that. Maybe I could do it on my on the catio. And not make it quite as big, but then again, it would be outside sound. So probably not a great idea. Anyway, if I lived out in the boonies, I could do it. Like I said, I appreciate it. I got good neighbors, so I just don't want to, I just don't want to make waves with all that. I am trying to pick out movies for my film festival. I've got some that I forgot about. And since Mom's not with me anymore, I can maybe go to the more scary movies. Now, what I qualify as a scary movie is it has to be in the realm of the supernatural. So Halloween definitely does fall under that category, because Michael Myers is just he has no soul. He is possessed. or he just is a hollow killing machine is all he is, which is what I thought was so fascinating about Halloween. The remake that Rob Zombie did totally went, he did not need a backstory. Basically, Michael Myers woke up and killed his sister for no reason. He just walked over there, took a knife, and just killed his sister. And that was that. And if you look, he just kind of tilted his head back and forth and went, like, that was kind of cool. You know, that was, or he had no reaction at all, or just a curious reaction. No love lost, or no, what did I just do? Or, oh my God, you just blank. Rob Zombie had to make this backstory about him being abused, and he made everybody white trash, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like his version of Halloween at all. I didn't like his vision of Halloween. I think he messed it up. I know a lot of people love it. I just don't. And, I did appreciate that John Carpenter was going to do other stories, not just Michael Myers. He was going to do kind of an anthology with different stories. And he tried that with Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. It just didn't work out so good. I personally like Season of the Witch, but it bombed more or less. I think it's become more of a cult favorite, but he went back to the Michael Myers formula, which I think is just very tired. I liked H2O. I did not like any of the newer movies lately. Didn't like the Halloween reboot. H2O to me was a good ending to the series. But actually, I might dig out H2O this year. I haven't watched that in a few years. I was talking about what qualifies as a horror film. Movies like I Spit on Your Grave, even Silence of the Lambs, those don't qualify to me as a horror film. They're more thrillers than they are horror. I don't know, but that's like Psycho. Is that a horror film or a thriller? It's horrifying. So there's a line there that you have to, it's a fine line. So, I don't know. I have to tend to make my own rules of what I consider to be horror or thriller. Of course, you could do thriller films on Halloween as well. Serial killers are kind of scary. Things that go bump in the night, the killer after you, those are kind of fun, like the Spiral Staircase or things like that. I don't know. I'm enjoying collecting these movies and really trying to think of a few. I do listen to your suggestions a lot. I am excited. I've got movies that have people I know in them, or have people I know that are involved in them. Like I've got, Craig Edwards's, if I can find it, Night Flyer, which he worked on. And I've got my nephew's Blackout, which he did the art for, and actually appears in the movie very briefly, I think in a cameo with my niece-in-law, Anki. I'm pretty sure they're there. I honestly didn't see it the last time I watched it. I think, if I recall, last year, I had a lot of trouble back then when I was telling you about my energy problem with falling asleep in the movies. I slept through a few of them, I hate to say. So I'm going to definitely give that one a rewatch because I want to. And, I just love I'm proud of my nephew for that. That was such a cool thing. And I hope he gets to do many more projects like that. He's always had a fascination with werewolves. Anyway, so one of his first paintings was him transforming into a werewolf. So I thought that kind of came full circle when he got to do that movie and do the paintings that a werewolf would do. Anyway, long story. I don't know if that made any sense. Sorry if it didn't. Basically, in the movie, the guy that does the paintings turns into a werewolf. He is a werewolf. So the paintings he does are influenced by his nightmaric visions he has of when he was a werewolf that are just kind of suppressed memories. Now, does that make sense? I hope it did. Anyway, I think I'm going to take a break and I'll come back with more of the podcast. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is From My Head to Your Ears.
From my head to your ears, let the music appear. No distance between us, just jazz in the air. I'll be right back, don't you fear. Every note I play brings me near.
I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. And it's fall, and I'm so glad. This summer, it flew by in a way, but it also seemed to last forever. I hate summer. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. A million times more. I just do not like summer. I don't do well in the heat anymore. And it started, I had my class reunion, I think on, May 31st or something like that. And then it was humid that night, but not really humid. But then it just started getting worse and worse, and it stayed that way. It quit raining. We hardly got any rain this summer here in Southern Illinois. It was awful. And finally, it decided to rain last week when I was trying to clean out my carport to get ready for the guys to come start working on my carport. Of course, stormed on me the whole time. And then it starts raining again when they're trying to work on it. So they haven't been able to work on it. So yeah, great timing. Such is my life. Oh, let me tell you this story. So I got 35 years with my job, right? And one of my gifts was of my choice. I chose a 75-inch television. And it arrived, and I got it together, struggled with it, set it up, worked on it all evening, trying to do that by myself. That's a major task. I don't recommend that. You need at least another person to help you put a TV that size together. Because when I got done at 2:00 in the morning and I called my buddy Brandon and I sat there and I looked at it, I said, I think it's broke. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, I don't know, but I have a feeling it's broke. So I hung up, I plugged it in, and sure enough, the whole screen was shattered. I don't know if it came that way in delivery, because the story goes with that, when they brought it, it was like 97 degrees outside, and I wasn't ready for it. It just came when it came. And I was waiting on them all day. And finally, about 4:00, I heard this rumble of a freight truck coming down my road. Mind you, I live on a little narrow street, so this truck was a full-size semi. So they pull up, and before I can get the cats off my lap and put my shoes on, they were gone. And I look outside, and there's a swimming pool. Not put together, obviously. You know, the box of a swimming pool. They left me the wrong thing. It is 70,000 degrees outside at this point. I mean, you walk out and you're just sweating. So I go back in and I call the company, which I had readily because they had called me earlier to inform me that they were on the way. So I called him and he dispatched him and got him to come back. They were already well out of town by this point, so they must have been booking it. So they bring it back. They take the swimming pool. They leave the TV, and they were supposed to take it out of the box for me and everything. But here's the thing. When I came back outside in the 90,000 degree temperature, I locked myself out of the house. By this point, I am just drenched. I'm aggravated. And I'm like, just pull it under the carport here and we'll deal with it. So I did that. And I called my sister who has my spare key, and they weren't really out of town. She was at her doctor's appointment. So it was going to be about 30 more minutes anyway. So the guys left and I didn't think about it much, but I did not get to put it in the house until it was safely in my carport. It's waterproof in there. I didn't get it in my house till a week or so later. And when I did, then it was broke. So the box looked fine. I don't know. Did they drop it? Did I break it when I put it together? Who knows? I got a replacement. But in the meantime, I was going to buy a new TV for my bedroom anyway. So I bought a 55-inch. And I thought when I get my new TV, my replacement TV, my replacement 75-inch, I will put the 55-inch in my bedroom, which I never really watch TV in my bedroom, but, it's nice to have. It's a nice thought. So I get that put together, and I have it about a month, and I go to bed, and I get up, and the TV's on. And I'm like, what the hell? Why is it on? Well, I didn't have time to turn it off. And sometimes I like to leave stuff on for my cats. But I just went ahead and left it on, went to work, came home, got the remote. It won't do anything. Okay, nothing. Remote does not respond. Tried 3 remotes. I thought maybe it was the batteries. Nope. It was a TV. So I unplugged it, plugged it back in. Won't power up at all. Pretty well fried. So I actually did without a television for a few days, and then I ordered one of those projector TVs, the little projectors. But I realized I have no place to project. My house is small. And I'm like, what the heck? And plus the cats just aren't going to allow that. But I wanted one anyway, because I thought maybe one day I could have friends over and we could watch a movie on the projector outside, or when I get my catio done, we can do it out there. So anyway, I wanted one anyway. It wasn't really expensive, but then I was still without a TV. And I really, really, really like to watch something at night. Plus I've got my Halloween Film Festival coming up. Anyway, so I order a cheaper Roku TV from Walmart. It was a little over $100. And, I got that. You're thinking I made a money. I'm not. Trust me. There's a thing called Zip Pay where you can make payments on stuff. I use that for stuff like that. So don't think I'm just like Mr. Moneybags, because I'm not. Anyway, so I get this TV, and I got it Sunday, and I really like it. It's just a nice little TV. And I thought, well, I could use this somewhere in the house eventually. Put it on a thing. It's a Roku, so all I need is the internet. Put it in the bathroom, for gosh sakes. I don't know. So tonight I had a Walmart order. I had to get some stuff, and I have to trick my cats because my catio's not done yet. The purpose of the catio is not only to have my cats go somewhere while I clean my living room, but when I open the door, they can't run out into the night. They'll be safe. But right now I don't have that. So what I have to do is I have to feed them. I time my evening Walmart delivery or my DoorDash delivery or whatever with them eating, so I can go sneak and get it. So I go to sneak and get the Walmart order. I come in. I got my toe caught on the cord. Somehow that TV knocked it off and shattered the screen. So I'm like, TV number 3 in less than, what, 2 months? July, August, 3 months? Not to mention I have a shed full of TVs. This happened to me a few years ago with televisions. I had several go boom. I think I knocked a TV over, my cats knocked a TV over, and then one died. Plus I've got my one I bought then that died. Oh, Lord, I'm in TV hell. And you can't do nothing with those things. I've got a guy that's going to come pick them up and take them somewhere for me. There is a place to go, but generally you can't throw away a television. And that sucks because, like Mr. TV here, I've got like 10 TVs now that I got to throw away. So not only am I having this stupid energy crisis with me, I'm having trouble with my TV. And sorry. I know I'm a hot mess. But yeah, that was the other thing that happened to me. I'm going to take a break and I'll be back with more. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast from my head to your ears.
From my head to your ears, I'll be right back. Riding on a midnight groove, no need to pack. Thoughts spinning like vinyl, the needle drops low. Every beat a secret only you'll know.
I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast, and I'm just talking about whatever I want to today. It's kind of freestyle, this or that, whatever. You'll find out what the title of this episode of my podcast is when I get done, because I'll come up with something, I guess. Goes to show you I don't really plan anything. It is September 25th, 2025, as I'm recording this. And it's the night before Olivia Newton-John's, what would have been, 77th birthday. 77 years old. It just blows my mind. When I think of Olivia, I think of Olivia in Grease or Xanadu, with that beautiful blonde hair, youthful and young and healthy. Anyway, I'll be playing Olivia music all day tomorrow when I've got to work, so I won't be doing it at work, obviously. But I'll be playing in honor of my favorite singer of all time. Today I had a Star Trek marathon before I broke my television. The idea is to surround yourself with things that make you happy. That's when things aren't going so great. That's a good idea. Something I learned from a long time ago. I don't know. Well, like I said, I'm preparing for my Halloween Film Festival. I really would like to get some ghost stories for my listeners again, like I did last year. And I'd like to read them on the air. I had a good time with that last year, although it didn't go over as well as I wanted to. And I had planned on taking more time with it this year, but I haven't felt good. And my podcast, I'm sorry, was the last thing on my mind in the last few months. So, but I'm going to ask you again, if you can, send me your ghost stories. I'll have an email set up, or where to send them. I prefer you to send them to my email so I can print it out. It's easier to read that way. You can also private message me, I guess, on Facebook. But if you can, I'd just like a few of them. I don't need a lot. I don't want to be overwhelmed by them. I only have a certain amount of time. But I'll probably complete this podcast by the Halloween podcast by Halloween, close to Halloween, whenever that gets here. Obviously, October 31st, but I mean, whenever I get the podcast done. Hopefully we'll do another podcast before then. At least go back to 2 a month, I mean. Aw. Right now I got a little guest star, little co-host here. And I think it's Nacho. Livy's in here with me too. I'm in my room, so as not to hear that stupid smoke alarm beeping still. That thing will not die. I've about took a hammer to it. I cannot figure that thing out. It does not have a battery. I think it's possessed. I don't know. I'm about to call a priest because you probably could still hear it in the background. Cheep, cheep. It's like, honestly, I ignore it. It doesn't bother me. But then I get a lot of people who hear it in my Snapchats and on my TikToks and in my podcasts. There, I think it just went off. I don't know, but I cannot get the damn thing to stop. It will not stop. It's haunted. It's possessed, I tell you. I can see it now. The Conjuring. What number are we at? The Conjuring 5. The devil is in charge of my smoke alarm. I don't know. The devil's smoke alarm. The Warrens are going to show up at my house soon and investigate the smoke alarm. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Anyway, I love Halloween. I love October. I'm so glad to make it through this damn summer. You know, it's really sad because, not funny, but my mom and dad died in May, pretty much the beginning of summer. My sister died in August, pretty much the end of summer. And to me, now more than ever, I just don't like these months. My poor sister Cindy has a birthday on July 31st, which I always go over there and celebrate with her and my brother-in-law Rodney. We have a nice little party and get together. You ever do Walmart orders? I got to tell this story because another littered story. Pull up a chair. So I do Walmart orders a lot because I don't drive. Little known fact, I'm blind in one eye. I don't need to drive and I don't drive. So I use delivery services to get my stuff a lot. And that's fine with me because right now with my health situation, I can't breathe and walking around a store is not the best situation for me. So I like the delivery services. So while I was at my sister's, and by the way, I ordered everything and had it delivered to her house for her birthday as part of her birthday present. So we went over, we had a nice little supper and some cake. Not supper. We had cake and ice cream. That's what we had. We didn't eat this time. So gave her presents, had a nice little get together, and I had done an order for my supper from Walmart. And I had it timed to where it would be ready when I got home. So I get the ding that the driver's on the way, and I'm using DuQuoin Walmart, which I usually do use West City Benton Walmart. They're about as equal. Well, Benton's a little closer, but Walmart and DuQuoin is about 10 miles away. I can use either or for delivery. So I just decided to use Benton because I just had used Benton. So I decided to use DuQuoin because I don't know, that's a little embarrassing to get all these deliveries in an hour. It makes me feel like I'm weird. But anyway, that's just me. Right. Exactly. That was Nacho. Anyway, I get the ding that it's on the way. And as I'm walking, when my sister lives right around the corner from me, so, it's not like it's very far away. Anyway, I'm getting tired. I'm in the alley. I live just out of the alley, and I get the Walmart guy saying he left it with the picture, and he takes a picture of my carport, doesn't give me specifics of where he left it in the carport, but just a wide picture. So I get there and there is no delivery. Nowhere to be found. Gone. And it wasn't a big delivery, maybe a sack or two. And I think I just had some microwavable meals. A microwavable meal and a couple of other things. And nothing. I think it was about $40 worth of stuff. So I immediately get on the site and I get a refund. And then only did I get the refund, I got a $10 bonus or whatever kickback for being a good customer. And I use a free express delivery. So I used the express delivery for Benton Walmart and got the same items. So I wasn't doing without. But here's the thing. I thought, well, did the guy steal my order? And he got a bad rating for me, which I don't like to do, but I can't very well give him a good rating if I didn't get my order. So anyway, there's the mystery. What happened to my order? That was just kind of random. Who the heck would steal that? Why would the guy steal it even? Why would the guy always come all the way over here and just not drop it off? So that was like, I can't believe that happened. So we go back to the night it started raining and I was cleaning off my garage or my carport. And my sister, no, back that up. That wasn't that night. It was the night before. My cat had gotten loose. That's it. Mitzi May had gotten out and I was outside trying to catch her. So my sister came over to try to help me. That's what it was. That was within the same time frame. That's why I'm getting mixed up. So she goes and she catches Bitsy and she gets loose again. But my sister, while she's catching my cat, notices in the backyard by the door, by the back of the sunken porch, is a sack of Walmart stuff with the food items gone. But it's that Walmart order. Apparently, a raccoon had stole my order. I'm not kidding. Why I know it was a raccoon is because as the night went on, I stayed outside as late as possible because I was trying to catch Bitsy May. And I don't like my babies outside, especially when she's an indoor cat. She's not used to being outside. I see this huge raccoon come out from under my house. I mean, his face was as big as mine. Big old guy. And he got like 3 feet away from me. He wasn't scared of me. I thought, you're the one that's stealing my stuff. So, anyway, mystery solved. What happened to my Walmart order? Anyway. Well, I'm about talked out, so I think I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to take a break, and I will wrap this up. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast from my head to your ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. And thank you for joining me and Livy and Nacho, who have been my special guests in the studio. Livy's currently making biscuits on my shoulder. Nacho's playing in the little cat tree hammock over there. Thank you for listening to another podcast edition of From My Head to Your Ears. I appreciate you all. I love doing this. I want to continue doing this. I want to do it more often. I want to have more fun and more listeners. Lots of goals. But thank you. This podcast is kind of story time edition. One of my coworkers, I call her Angry. Her name's Angie. her nickname is Angry because she's like a little angry woman all the time, but she's not really. She's a lot of fun. Anyway, she got a shout out. But she always exclaims, "Oh no, it's story time again," because I tell stories like Edith Bunker on All the Family. Aggravates Archie, you know, how he like wants to kill herself before she's done with the story because she goes into detail. That's me, if you haven't noticed. But anyway, thank you for listening. I'm gonna finish this up and produce it and get it out there for y'all. And hopefully I'll be back again in a week or so with another episode. And I remember I'm gonna put up a link. I don't know if it'll be on this podcast or on my podcast Facebook page, but I'll put up a link in the information where you can send me your ghost stories because I would like to read them for my Halloween edition, which I will do later this month or later in October, and I will have it ready before Halloween probably. So please send me anything you got. Last year I just got a few. It was really enough to sort of do half a podcast. Then I did some other stuff, but I really would like enough to fill a podcast. So send me as many ghost stories. I just want real ghost stories. I don't want fake ones. But I'll plan all sorts of stuff for that Halloween podcast because, as you know, Halloween is my favorite. I think it's my favorite holiday. I love Christmas, though. I don't know. I don't know. That's like apples and oranges, Halloween and Christmas. Because Halloween really isn't a holiday. Because you don't get off school and you don't get off work. You have to go to work. But anyway, it's more of a day, a special day. Okay. Anyway, I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast from my head to your ears.